Over the holidays, I was relaxing with my family and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to be doing anything. I really want to be present as much as I can. I really want to spend time with my family and be there and connect with everyone. We had a great time. And one of those great times that we had, I was holding myself there. We had our dinner, we had finished. My one child was playing and the other one was there across from me with my wife. And they just had this special moment and they were looking at each other, and my little one was being playful with her mom and she was just playing around and laughing and giggling and dancing around, and her eyes were beaming. Both of their eyes were beaming actually, and it was such a wonderful experience seeing them both being present and really engaged with each other and playing with each other and laughing and giggling. Such a special moment. At that moment I felt really connected with myself. I felt really present, and then it occurred to me. Welcome, my friends, to another episode from Inside Treasures. My name is Phoebus and I like to challenge myself and those around me for the purpose of growth. This podcast is about helping you to heal, to change, and to grow. And this episode is mainly about mindfulness, gratitude, and being present. So what was that thing that occurred to me? It was the idea that in the whole eternity, life won't happen to be as it is right now. It won't be the same for me, and it won't be the same for everybody else. So while I was there present, enjoying that moment, taking it all in, realizing that my daughter will never be that age again, that is such a special moment where we are right now, with her and my son, and how they changed through time, and how they were smaller, and they're growing up, and how they've been changing. And it happens like with kids, it's very easy to see the passing of time. It's about the now. Everything is transient, everything is fleeting, and enjoying the now because it is short-lived. And the now will pass, and all those great moments that they're there, we miss them, and all those the great moments that we could be there, but we're not. We might be there physically, but in our mind, we're somewhere else. We're losing out on all this. When we're present, things become different. We hear more clearly, we see things more clearly, we're more present, we're more connected with ourselves, we're more connected with the people around us. And that is very important. If we want to live life and live life to the fullest, if we want to be there and be present, if we want to be there for the people that we say we want to be there, we better be there. We can't be in life being distracted, being here, being there. We're on a dinner table and then we're checking our phone. Yes, sometimes it will happen. But overall, what are we doing? Are we, on a dinner table thinking about work, or are we doing this and are we doing that? There's always something that will take hold of our focus unless we take hold of our own focus. We have this tendency to be somewhere else, to do something else. The thing to realize is all of that is taken away from us savoring the present moments. Being there, seeing things for what they are, listening to people, connecting with each other. And all these things are very, very important to our well-being and to our progress. Those days that we're really, really tired and we just can't be there, we can't focus, and we just dread the time we got up, and all the thing that we want is to go back to bed. But the days that we're refreshed and we're feeling there and we're feeling more present, then life tastes a lot sweeter. And this all has to do with how we feel and how we relate to the world. It has nothing else to do about what is going on around the world. Learning to take hold of our focus is very important because our attention will fleet and go into different places. Our mind, the way it works, most of the time for most of us humans, is that it will go places. And you know that once you start practicing a little bit of mindfulness, meditation, being present, you start to see your thoughts. You start in one place. You have a whole conversation, you pass through other 3 places, and you end up somewhere completely remotely, far, far away from where you started. And then you start going on a debate within your mind of how did this happen and where did I start and where am I going? So you see, the mind is like water. It will just go places. But when we can build that container, then we can contain that water. When we can build that focus, then we can be present. And that's where we get back into mindfulness. So when we go around and life is tossing us left and right and our mind is fleeting left and right, it's definitely the time for us to ground ourselves and reel it all back in. When we're running away scared in our minds, or when we're too busy or we're too stressed, it's time to reel it all back in. We have to get into the habit, for the sake of all of us, to just tone it all down, take a step back. We talk about grounding, we talk about mindfulness, but in simple reality, it's all about being present. How can I be present right here, right now? When my mind is racing and it wants to fleet and do 1,000 things, how can I be here right now? And the simplest way is focusing back on our breathing, focusing on the things that we hear, and focusing on the things that we feel. It really goes back to our 5 senses. And when we bring it back into our 5 senses, and literally be there, noticing, we shift our focus. And when we shift our focus into the present moment, we start to become more connected with our environment and ourselves. And when we do that, everything else that has been going around, it just vanishes. Does it really vanish? Does it go away? The answer is no. But the minute we stop looking at things within our own reality, those things cease to exist. Even if so, it happens momentarily. The problems won't go away. If there's something that we need to do and we need to act on, then we need to act on and move into the solution. But when our mind moves away from that, we actually start to find more resources. The more connected we are with ourselves, the more connected we are with our environment, the more observant we are with what is going on around us. Guess what? The more likely we are to find the solution and to move towards that and then to act upon that. It's also taking the time for gratitude. It's another way of changing our focus. How can I count my blessings? How can I count my blessings so I know that actually I'm in a good place? My mind is telling me all these things are off, all these things are wrong, but what are the good things in my life that I'm grateful for? And now the last thing is taking stock of the things that are happening. What are your highlights of the day? What are the highlights of your week? What are the highlights of your month? And that you can do within your mind. But usually pen and paper really helps. And that's why a lot of people start a journal and write things. Sometimes it's about writing our thoughts, but also we can create a section of what am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for this week? What was a high moment for me? What were some of the great achievements that I had this week? But in general, it's about highlighting the great moments that they happen. And then you can also reflect as well. You can reflect on what are some things that have been going wrong that I can actually work with, that I can act on. This is useful too. And again, it's about taking the focus. But right now, we're just focusing on the highlights of our life. And even with the lows, you can take those things. It's about acknowledging them. It's about seeing them with that distance. It's about seeing them and being present. Now you might say, am I not fleeting and going back into what happened? Am I not avoiding the present? This is not avoiding the present. This is about reviewing what has been going on in your life in the present. It's not about getting lost in what we did before and what we're going to do. It's about being present right now and taking stock and realizing that there are a lot of good things happening in our lives. And the things that they're not going our way or the way that we want them, what are the kinds of things that we can do? And when you connect all that, it's about being more present. It's about enjoying life. It's about directing your life. It's about having more focus and attention in the things that you want. But most of all, it's about you being connected with yourself. You being present with where you are. You, that when you go into a park or when you walk into the store, to be able to see everything that is going on around you. It's about observation. It's about awareness. It's about presence. When we cultivate the will to be present, when we cultivate as a skill presence, then we learn to be connected more with ourselves and the world. And then when the world is happening around us, we won't be asleep. We actually be present and we'll be able to soak in all the good moments because already we're coming from a place of feeling connected. We're coming from a place from being present. And that in itself, that self-awareness, that self-connection, that groundedness is already a positive space to be in. And then it's just about allowing all those things that are coming from outside in, reeling them in, absorbing them, soaking them, enjoying them, because there's so much joy all the way around us. And most of all, guard your focus and attention. Don't allow that attention to be taken into places you don't want to be going. Don't allow other people to steal that away from you, and don't allow your own mind to take you places you don't want to be at. I'm here to help you heal, change, and grow. If there's something that resonated with you, something that you feel you need help with, then give me a shout at podcast@insidetreasures.com. Thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to another episode from Inside Treasures. Until next time, my friends, let peace guide your life, love guide your heart, and reason guide your thoughts.